Dear students, welcome to the online lecture series of environmental science. As we are discussing about the environmental laws, today we are going to discuss about an important law, that's Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981. This is the law we are going to discuss today. As we all know that air is a very indispensable source, and in fact every living organism survived because of the air, and no organism can exist without breathing air. So we'll discuss some silent features of the act as per the demand of the syllabus only. If we define air pollution means presence of any solid, liquid or gaseous substances in our atmosphere or in the air in such concentration and for such duration which may be or liable to cause injuries or harmful to human being and other living creatures. Means if any solid, liquid or gaseous substance is present in our atmosphere in excess concentration and for longer duration, then it may become an injuries or harmful for the living creatures including human being. As we discussed it in the previous law about the boards as established by the Constitution of India under different laws, and we named it as boards. The boards may be Central Pollution Control Board, as we call CPCB, or it may be State Pollution Control Board or SPCB. As the name indicates, Central Pollution Control Board, it must performs its functions on central level, while the state board has to perform its function on state levels. But for the convenience of the student, we'll discuss the functions of the board in combination. So the powers of the boards as discussed. First of the power of the boards is the board has got the power to check any industry whether or not the particular industry is in compliance with the permissible or with the standards already laid down in the act, whether it is in compliance with the rules and with the provisions already laid down. If the industry is in compliance with the rules and regulations already laid down, then there is no issue. If the industry is discharging or emitting the pollutant load in excess to the standards already given to that particular industry, then the industry may becomes a defaulter. So board has got the power to check such industries whether the industry is in compliance with the rules and regulations already laid down. Next function of the board has got the power to check defaulters and set penalties as per the section 21 and 22 of the act. Means if any industry or if any occupier or if any unit runner never abides or never comply with the rules and regulations already laid down, then the board has got the power to declare that very particular person or the industry or the occupier as defaulter as per the section 21 of the act, and similarly penalties in the form of prosecution, in the form of penalties, in the form of fine, in the form of imprisonment can be imposed depending upon the mistake the industry made. Means 21, section 21 and 22 of the act has a provision of declaring any person, any industry as defaulter and impose penalties or prosecute or made imprisonment of the occupier or the industrialists. Then board has got the power to declare any area as pollution free zone as per the section 19 of the act. Means both state and state pollution control board has got the power that if the board thinks that a particular area, it may be a school, it may be a church, it may be a masjid, it may be a mandir, and if any person tries to establish a unit there in the vicinity of this places mentioned already, then the state and state pollution control board has got the powers that the area can declare as no pollution zone or pollution free zone as per the section 19 of the act. Means the board has got the powers to refrain any such activity which is liable to cause injuries to that very vicinity. Hence, as per the section 19 of the act, board may check, stop or seize any industrial operation or establishment in that very particular area, be it school, be it church, be it masjid, be it school, be it hospitals, and be it agricultural areas. Then board has got the power to check the standard emission of the automobiles. As we have seen, there is a pollution certificate issued to every vehicle. It says section 20 of the act has given powers whether the vehicle is in compliance with the standard already given to that very vehicle. No issue if the vehicle is emitting pollutants in the form of sulfur oxide, nitrogen oxide, carbon mono or suspended particulate matter, whatever be the pollutants there. If within the permissible limit, then it is okay, no issue. If the vehicle is not in compliance with the pollution standard given to that particular vehicle, then the occupier of the vehicle may become defaulter and prosecution proceedings, legal proceedings may initiate against that occupier or the driver as the case may be. So section 20 of the act has got the powers to check standard emission from automobiles. This is implied by section 20 of the act, section 20. And the board has also got the powers to check whether the vehicle is using the only fuels which has been approved to that very particular area, and no vehicle is allowed to use any fuel other than approved by the SPCB or CPCB as the case may be. Then As already told you, no person is allowed to establish any unit in air pollution control area. As we already defined in the section 19 of the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981, as per the section 19, no any unit or industrial unit can be established in an areas which has already been declared as air pollution control area or pollution free zone. If there is a grievance of any particular industry that their standards are within the permissible limits, their procedures are as per the procedures laid down, means they are not defaulters as they think so, then the industries or the unit runners has an option to appeal before the appellate authority that we have not violated the rules and regulations already laid down, means they can made an appeal before the appellate authority as per the section 31 of the act. Means air prevention and pollution of control act 1981 of section 31 gives an option to any industrialist, any unit runner to appeal before the appellate authority as per the section 31 of the act that the industry has not violated any rules and regulations already laid down, but it is supposed to submit their grievance within a period of 30 days. But there is also an option, if the industry is filing an appeal, putting an appeal after the expiry of the 30 days, if the appellate authority think that the industrialists have sufficient cause of not filing the case within a period of 30 days, means the appellate authority has got the powers to take the cases after the expiry of 30 days. Means there is a provision of as per the section 31 of the act that any industrialist or occupier or runner can appeal against the boards, against the be it CPCB or SPCB before the appellate authority. The next function of the board has got the provision of funds and auditing of their accounts. Means if the fund has already been allocated to any particular board or industry for the betterment of air quality or protecting the quality of air in the form of machinery, in the form of technical assistance is already given, then the board has got the provisions of funds and auditing of their accounts. Auditing of their accounts mean whether the fund has been utilized properly, and while utilizing the funds, whether all the codal formalities has been met out or not, if the specified equipments in the form of machinery has been purchased or not. These are the powers entrusted with the board, be it CPCB or SPCB. Then the Air Prevention and Pollution of Control Act 1981 has been amended in 1987. In 1987, Air Pollution Control is amended with the certain provisions, and the provisions are more stringent powers, more stringent penalties imposed. And sometimes what happens, if any industry is releasing an amount of pollutants in excess, say for example 5 units, but the penalty the industry is supposed to deposit is rupees 5,000, but release of that 5 units earns 10 times or 100 times more amount of revenue. Hence, such problems were eradicated by imposing more stringent penalties. More powers were entrusted to the boards. Means, board has given more powers. Means, members of the board can visit the industry at a particular time. With the passage of time, more and more powers were entrusted or given to the boards, and finally the noise pollution was included in the Air Prevention and Pollution Control Act 1981. Means these are the certain provisions or rules and regulations already established by the Indian Constitution in different acts, but to implement such acts, this is not necessary. Government is supposed to act everywhere, but this is the duty of our individual responsibility to protect the quality of air, improve the quality of air by only playing an important role of individual role. As we say, a little contribution contributes a lot. As there is a well-known Chinese proverb as well. Think globally, act locally. So if you are interested, as you are supposed to, improve the quality of air, then play your individual role. Stay home, stay safe. Till then, best of luck.